Hi YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to talk about some of our fellow content creators. And if that's something you think that interests you, please stick around. First of all, I want to start off by talking about all this Dante London and Dodash content that's been thrown around or has been going around and that people have been talking about. Some of it, well, most of it is not so flattering. There's a lot of hate going on, a lot of jealousy from what I can see. I did do a Dante London video kind of touching on the subject a little bit. I didn't bash him. I didn't judge him. I actually applaud him because I think as far as business is concerned and views and things like that, he seems to be doing well. I don't know. But a lot of people, I think, are jealous of his success, somewhat success. And everybody's just trying to jump on the bandwagon and trying to get some of that success by coming on here and talking about him and, showing his videos. And you guys seen it. You know what I'm talking about. That's one thing, to do that. I don't always agree with it, although I do watch it just like y'all. It's kind of sensational. Nowadays, it's like sensational YouTube. I mean, sensational television, So YouTube television is what it's turning out to be. But one thing in particular caught my eye. And, not all content creators do this, but I've been noticing some of them are doing this. And if you're not doing this, I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking about the ones who are doing this. And, that's women bashing and basically just looking down and putting women down on this platform. Especially Dodash. I think she's getting a lot of hate. I don't watch her content, so I've seen bits and pieces of it from the reaction videos that other people have done. But I guess basically she's getting out here asking for money. She can't pay her bills. They're saying that she's copying Dante London's content. I don't know, y'all. So, you tell me in the comments. I don't know what's going on there. But she's getting on here asking for money. And some of the content creators have even gone as far as to say that she needs a husband. And if she had a husband, she wouldn't have to come on YouTube and, ask people and beg people for money and stuff. I mean, come on. That's foul. I mean, you just don't do that. Whatever your personal beliefs are, if you don't believe women should be in the workplace, or you don't want your wife out here working and you want your wife to stay home barefoot and pregnant, that's on you. Don't come on YouTube spewing that garbage. And I'm sorry, it's garbage. Because we all know in today's economy, if you are married or shacking up or whatever you're doing, it takes two. It takes two to run a household. It takes two to have any kind of decent kind of living nowadays. Okay. So if you believe in that bull crap that, only the man needs to go out and work, that's on you. Yeah, I call it bull crap because I think it's bull crap, but that's my opinion. Just like it's your opinion that you think only, I guess men should be content creators or men should be up here on YouTube. So the people who are putting out that type of content, I just don't like seeing it, and I think it's wrong. And hopefully, if you do see something like that, you just keep scrolling, or you go in the comments and you let them have it, because it's just not right. I mean, I don't like it. And again, that person or people, whoever's putting that type of content out there, they're entitled to their opinion, and I don't have to agree with it, and I don't have to watch it. But I just want to come out here and shed some light on that. A lot of people are just not in agreement with that type of thinking. And the same people that have that type of conservative, I'm a Christian, I go to the church every Sunday, I'm a church person mentality, are the same ones that voted for Trump. And, they go in here and talk about it and brag about it. They voted for Trump because of, the Republican Party have conservative views and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. If you don't look like Trump, if you don't have Trump's money, Trump don't give a fuck about you. I'm going to tell you that right now. Trump don't give a F about you, okay? We already seen what he's done to this country, and I'm not going to make this a political video. I've got some of those out there too. But Trump don't give a fuck about people who don't look like him and people who don't have his money. He don't. And you all can see what he's done to this country. We all know he's tearing it apart. He's tearing it apart piece by piece. And you got all your so-called conservative people coming up here. Yeah, I voted for Trump because, you know, his conservative values, or the Republican conservative values, and what they represent. And I've seen people of color, plenty, black males especially, come on YouTube and say that. And it's a bunch of crap, because some of the ones that voted for him, or some of the ones that are unemployed right now, and because of Trump's policies. So make that make sense. Okay. You know, stuff like that. So it's, you get up here and you say one thing, I'm conservative, I go to church every Sunday. What are they teaching in church? Are they teaching that? Are they teaching hate? Are they teaching misogyny? Are they teaching male chauvinism? I don't know, y'all. Tell me, is this what's being taught in church? Because if it is, you need to find a different church. Because that's a bunch of bull crap. To get up here and, you know, say basically that women need to stay barefoot and pregnant in the home, and not come up here and do YouTube content and, you know, make videos. You know, it's not their calling. So, yeah. So I'm going to just leave that alone. I'm going to just leave that over there right now. The ones who are putting out that type of content, they know who they are. All I'm saying is that those are your views. That's fine. You can, if you have a YouTube channel, you're a content creator, you can talk what you want to talk. But I'm here to tell you, a lot of people don't like hearing it. So people are going to come for you. They're going to come for you in your comments, and they're going to set you straight. That's all I'm saying. So you can say what you want to say, but don't get mad and don't get upset when they come for you, and they come for you in the comments. You know, don't get upset because you put it out there. But that's a really old-fashioned way of looking at things. I'm older. I'm middle-aged plus a few more years. I'm past my prime, as you could tell. But I don't share those values. And a lot of our elders, you know, they had those values. But some of these men that are coming up spewing this crap, they're younger than me. And I don't know how far it's got you in life, but that way of thinking is just not going to fly in modern times. A lot of the young people, the younger men, you know, they don't fall for that as far as women belong in the house and they don't belong in the workplace. They want you to work. They want you to bring home the money. And, you know, for those men to go out there, the content creators, and go out there and say, you're not a real man if your woman works, that's not right. That's not right. You're attacking people's manhood, and you're attacking people's beliefs. Okay. Everybody's entitled to believe, just like you're entitled to believe, you know, what you want. And that's all, you know, that's all I got to say on that, y'all. It's unfortunate. And I see this in our community a lot. A lot of YouTubers are getting up here and just spewing pure garbage. And all for what? For views? For that little chump change that YouTube's going to pay you? Let me tell you something. Unless you have a business or you do marketing affiliation or something like that, you're not going to make money. You're not going to get rich on YouTube, y'all. You're not going to be able to sustain your lifestyle or pay your bills on by the YouTube revenue that you make. Now, some people can, and the ones who do, they are the ones that have some type of business and they promote their business through YouTube. They utilize YouTube in that way. But they're not making their money from YouTube. They're making their money from their business. So y'all get up here and bash Dante and Dodash and whoever else you want to bash, women and whoever, and you get a couple thousand views, 5,000 views or whatever, you're not going to get paid that much money. I looked it up the other day. If you get 1 million views on YouTube, you're only going to get, it depends on, you know, what you're talking about. You're only going to get between like 1,000 maybe and $5,000. That's nothing. For 1 million views, that's nothing. That's not $1 per view. So I don't know what y'all think, you know, getting up here, talking all this garbage and this nonsense, you know, for what? For a couple of bucks. You'd be lucky if you can pay your electricity bill with it or pay your cell phone bill. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So cut it out. So stop. Stop getting up here, bashing people and bashing other races and other sexes or whatever, whoever you bash. Stop it, because it's not worth it. In the end, it's not worth it. You're just hurting yourself. and your channel, because people are going to come for you. And I had another thought. It just went. I'm getting old, so my train of thought is my focus is very short. But I say all that to say, it's got to stop. And I get, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. You're not going to get that much money, and you're just going to make yourself look bad, and you're going to make your channel look bad. And yeah, it's just not worth it, y'all. And I don't understand, why they do it. It's okay, if I talk about a certain subject, I'm going to get views. So what? You're going to get views, but you're not going to get paid no money. That money is chump change. We all know that. Go get a real job, get a 9 to 5, do whatever you got to do. If both spouses have to work or whatever, do what you got to do to get your money. But don't rely on YouTube, and don't rely on making other people look bad so that you can make yourself look good, thinking you're going to get more money, get paid more by YouTube. It's not going to happen. I know what I was going to say. Yeah, YouTube doesn't pay money for you getting up here bashing other people. They don't pay extra. That's not a niche, okay? They're not going to pay extra because you get up here and talk shit about Dante. Yeah, you're going to get the views because the person you're talking about is popular and the person you're talking about is trending. But you're not going to get paid what they're getting paid. It's going to be chump change. It's just going to be scraps. So if you want to settle for scraps and, grasp it, whatever you can get, go for it. But all I can say is it's going to get you nowhere in the long run. That's it, y'all. That's my rant on that. I just want to get out here and say that. And, I'm not talking about the subscribers. I'm not talking about the viewers. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. And you're doing what you're supposed to do. When you see that bullshit, you call it out and you go on there and you make comments and you call them people out. And I applaud you for that. Good for you. Good for you. Don't let them get away with it. Eat them up in the comments. Make them, well, I don't want you to get blocked. But sometimes when you say stuff, they'll block you. So, good for you. Call them out on that shit because it's not right. It's not right. And I especially take offense to what is being said, about women, that, women need to be married in order to be financially stable. And I mean, that's a bunch of crap. I'm married. I've been married for a very long time, 30 plus years, but I don't buy into that rhetoric. I don't buy into that crap. My husband doesn't define me. I don't define him. I'm my own person, just like he's his own person. And he doesn't dictate to me or tell me what I can and can't do. We have a discussion about it. He doesn't tell me, you can't do YouTube, or I don't want you working. I mean, no, that's not happening. Because if he was that type of person, I wouldn't be with him. I'm going to tell you that right now. And his marriage would not have lasted, as long as it did. Because I'd be out the door. I'm just not that type of person. And I know he's not that type of person because he can't, I'm not going to say he can't tell me what to do, but he's not going to sit there and dictate, what I do. Now, if your beliefs are you think the husband needs to boss the wife around and tell her what to do, that's on you. I don't share those beliefs. Maybe there's some people out there that do share your beliefs, but don't get on here on YouTube and then spew that garbage, because people are not going to, especially women folk, we're not going to take that type of, it's abuse. It's verbal abuse. And we're not going to take that, from anybody. But let me go ahead and stop this video, y'all, before I get in trouble, because there's a whole lot I could say on this subject, but maybe I'll just save it for another day. And, I don't want to keep y'all too long, and I don't want to bore y'all. But just let me know, how you feel about this subject in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.